I was spending over 6 hours a day mindlessly scrolling through my phone, and it was destroying me. My eyes were burning constantly, my brain felt like complete mush, and the worst part, as a content creator, I would tell myself that I was researching ideas, but I would be scrolling for hours and end up with zero usable content. So as a working mom, I knew I couldn't just throw my phone in a drawer. I need it for school updates, posting content, managing my business, but I was trapped in the cycle of endless scrolling that was killing my creativity. Then I discovered this pocket notebook experiment by Lily, and I thought, what if I tried this for the next 30 days instead of reaching for my phone? And what happened next completely transformed my creative process, and I have the actual screenshots to prove I got back over 17 hours per week. And by the end of this video, you are going to want to start your own experiment. I already have my 2-planner system that works perfectly for my planning needs, my Franken planner for my big goals, and my plotter narrow for my daily planning. But I needed something different. Something for capturing the messy, unfiltered thoughts that were getting lost in all those digital noise. And the rules were simple. Every time I felt the urge to doom scroll for inspiration, I would reach for this focus notebook instead. No structure, no system, just pure brain dump for 10 minutes. But what happened on day 1 completely caught me off guard. So on day 1, I sat down expecting to write maybe a sentence or two about content ideas. Instead, I had so much to write about. It was like opening a floodgate that had been blocked for a month. This is my first page where I've written, I'm going to do my own experiment to control my doom scrolling by having a pocketbook to fill my boredom. I am going to test this theory for the next 30 days on whether or not this pocket notebook going to help me with my doom scrolling. Let the experiment begin. So I started this experiment in 19th of April 2025, and on the first day itself, I have written about 8 pages worth of ideas. I remember thinking, where did all this come from? It was like my brain had been storing all these creative thoughts with nowhere to put them, and suddenly I had just given them permission to exist. The purpose of me writing it in here, because I just don't want these thoughts to be lingering in my head, because I don't know where to put them. I don't put them in my planner or any other places. I just decided to write them down, and when I want to take action on it, then I can take a look at it. So for example, this perfume order that I have written down here, what I do is I have been ordering wrong perfume every time I try to replace my old one. So this time I just decided to write them down in this book when I was doing the order. And then once I gotten the perfume, I decided to give a feedback within this book itself. I like these two, and what I did was I moved these 2 perfume that I've selected into my list inside my plotter, which I have a lot of lists in here. So it just made sense to put it all in here, because when I want to do my purchase next time, I can just take a look at this list in here and make my order. And not only that, so these are the other perfumes that I don't like. So next time if I want to try a new perfume, I will know that I have to avoid these. It's like the process that's supposed to run in my brain. I put it in here in black and white, and then I was able to process it visually. I wanted to do a bi-week planning, so I just divided them into days and then started writing down the task. And the next page is about my action cards, like for filming, what I'm supposed to do, for my editing video, for my reel editing. So I just wrote them down in here because later I want to use this information and to create my proper SOP. So having it all here and process the information that has been in my brain. So when I want to come back and to think about my bi-weekly planning, I can just flip the pages here and continue processing this information with new information that I have thought about. You may ask, I can just process this anywhere, maybe in my planner. But here's the thing, I don't want to use my planner as a thinking place because it is going to be very messy, and I just don't like to confuse myself between the things that are etched and also things that are not decided. I prefer to have solid things that are determined already into my planners, but the things that has been not decided and I'm still thinking about it, I would rather to put them here in this pocket notebook to process it later. But let me be completely honest. During the first week, it wasn't smooth sailing. I would be waiting to pick up my daughter from school and feel that familiar boredom, and automatically I reach for my phone. I know old habits die hard. So there were days I completely forgot about the notebook. I chose the instant gratification of scrolling over the slower process of thinking. And as a content creator, I kept telling myself that I needed to check what was trending, what other creators were doing. And yes, once I picked up my phone, I still fell into the scroll trap. I am not going to lie and say that this notebook magically cured my phone addiction overnight, but slowly, by end of the first week, something clicked and I started remembering that I had this alternative, and that's when the real magic began. So week 2 and week 3 got really interesting because I started analyzing my own content performance, writing down what was working and what wasn't, and things that I should focus on my progress. So here's the breakthrough moment that changed everything. As I started flipping through previous pages and connecting dots that I've never seen before, I have written about my YouTube video cons on what is lacking in page 12, and then my planning routine in page 16, and then page 18 is about my planning structure. And I connected some of the dots, and all of a sudden I decided to create this arise method. Separately, these information meant nothing, but together they became this amazing planning concept that I can easily use to teach others. And my whole content creation process started changing because these ideas were genuinely mine and not influenced by what I saw on Instagram or YouTube, but it comes down from my own thoughts and experience. This notebook became like having a conversation with my most creative self. As the week progressed, I was getting ideas everywhere. I even put it near my dressing table when I shower because the amount of thoughts that come when you are showering is insane. By the time I'm dressed and looking for paper, those ideas are gone. So having this near at my dressing table is really, really good because I just get to write instantly on the ideas that came into my brain. And as you can see here, my writing is horrible, but of course I can read my own writing. And it does really look messy, right? It's like if I give this book to anybody, no one would understand what on earth I have written in here. But when I take a look at it, I actually know exactly what I've written and I understand what I meant. And this book is specifically for me. It's like my brain that I get to bring everywhere, wherever I go, and I get to see what's inside my brain. Here's how this integrated into my existing system. During my weekly review, I process everything from the focus notebook. Any expanded content for my videos goes to my Notion. Any content ideas and some task goes into my plotter. Tasks or events that are not immediate but are upcoming goes into my Franken planner, which is my main planner. And big projects also goes into my Franken planner. And once I am done processing all this information, I will just mark them off. I write down the date when it was done and I write down comments. For example, for this brand language that I want to input into my YouTube, I find this too complicated and hard to remember. I'm not interested in them. And these are some of the brand language that I wanted to use. I just circle them. And some of the title of the videos and hooks that I actually got ideas by looking through other YouTube creators. I began to write it, but then I realized that it's completely irrelevant and I found a better way. So I checked them off as well. So it is really useful by reading all this because I feel like I can see and watch how all the thoughts that comes into my brain is processed by looking at it, analyzing it, and checking it off. And I'm totally dropping off all this unnecessary information from my brain. But some thoughts, they are just passing through and I cross them off because it is irrelevant, either because it has expired or I am no longer interested in them. And here's something that's fascinating. I type way faster than I write. but I get more and better thoughts when I'm writing by hand. And research does show that there's this unique connection between our brain and hand when we write that typing just does not access. So I guess your phone gives you everyone else's thoughts, but this notebook gives you the access to your own. Now, proof for my success. These are my actual screen time screenshots after the 30-day experiment. I'm really sorry I did not have from the beginning because I forgot and I just remembered to take it down after the 30th day. And as you can see, my daily phone usage dropped from 6 hours to 3.5 hours. And that's 2.5 hours of my life back every single day. 17.5 hours per week. My eyes went from constantly watering and painful every day to clear and comfortable. I didn't realize how much damage I was doing until it completely stopped. So if you want to try this experiment for yourself, here's exactly how to start. Get any pocket-sized notebook. Make it sturdy so pages don't tear easily when you are writing passionately. This is Leuchtturm 1917, which I got for a discount from a local stationery shop near my place. And then choose a smooth black or blue pen. It's entirely up to you, but make sure that it's smooth because when ideas flow, you don't want a scratchy pen interrupting your thoughts. And when you feel the urge to scroll for inspiration, just grab this notebook. Set a timer for 10 minutes, just sit and stare until something comes to your mind, and then write whatever flows. No filter, no structure, just pure brain dump. And this will work with any planning system that you already have because it is not replacing your main planner, it's just feeding it with better, more authentic ideas. And here's the key. You must have a processing system. Once a week, go through your pages, move actionable items to appropriate places, cross off passing thoughts, connect dots between different entries. And without this step, is just a collection of random thoughts. There will be some thoughts that cannot be processed just yet, and it's perfectly all right because you can always come back to that page to process it again. Maybe later, you can connect the dots with your recent thoughts at that time. In just 30 days, this simple focus notebook helped me reclaim 17.5 hours per week, reduce my eye strain, and most importantly, unlock ideas that were trapped in my brain. I went from feeling mentally cluttered and creatively blocked to having more authentic content ideas that I know what to do with. Research says it takes 66 days to form a habit, so I am going to continue with this experiment. I will be sharing my 90-day results at the end of July, so make sure that you hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell. And I have a feeling that the transformation is going to be even more dramatic. So here's my challenge for you. Try this for 30 days. Get a notebook, get a good pen, and every time you want to mindlessly scroll, write instead. And if you do take on this challenge, make sure that you comment below. Use hashtag Focus Notebook Challenge so we can all follow each other's journeys. If you are constantly juggling million thoughts and you feel like your brain never gets a break, then you have to watch the video right here because I have shared the exact system that has brought my mental chaos to calmness. And lastly, remember your best ideas are already in your head. You just need the right system to get them out. Stop consuming everyone else's thoughts and start accessing your own thoughts. Until then, I will see you in my next video. Have a nice and productive day. Bye.